Hi, this is Matt Blanchett from Blanchett Homes, and when I'm not selling houses, I like to walk through the streets of historic hometowns to appreciate the places that have stood the test of time. Walk with me.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Walk With Me. I'm your host, Matt Blanchett. This is the best boy on the block, Mr. Lincoln, Alabama. Hey, buddy. He's being such a good boy. And this is Mr. Gordon Harris, also being a good boy, by the way. It's the town historian, giving us an amazing tour of High Street, the highest per capita collection of first period houses in the country. You're welcome. So come to Ipswich, check it out. Gordon's done some great stuff. What's the name of your website, Gordon?
HistoricIpswich.net.
Yeah, it's amazing. HistoricIpswich.net. If we haven't plugged it before, you really owe yourself a trip. Yeah. This is 21 High Street, and it is my personal favorite period, the Georgian period. Purists might tell you that Georgian period was very small window, 25 to 50. This is towards the later end of the Georgian period. You can tell that because the chimneys are on either side of the house, and also you start to see almost a Greek revival style of the A-frame.
Nice little flourishes here and there.
Yeah, little flourishes. Speaking of flourishes, I also noticed, if I'm saying this correctly, under the entablature, there's some Corinthian molding. You see that curved blocks?
I learned that from you.
Well, you know, we share.
Yeah.
And I also like the
Fluted door.
Pilasters.
That's right.
Sexy name.
Yeah. And then over the
fan light.
Some fan light right over the window. That's a
sexy front door. It's a beautiful
The
door.
house has evolved, obviously, from when it was built.
So take it away.
Well, you know, we've been talking about first period houses, and we, just looked at a 5/4 with a door off the column, which looks fairly symmetrical. Oftentimes, the early first period houses, they'd add on one side would be larger, one smaller.
But you can tell when it's asymmetrical. This looks like it was built this way.
This house is designed by a cabinet maker. His name is Mark Haskell,
or a designer, if you will.
Yeah, and then his daughter married a lord, Daniel Lord. The whole street was full of houses.
Married up.
They were married. They were in the Lord family.
Yep.
It looks like they built a really state-of-the-art Georgian house at that time.
It's gorgeous. So you see, is that a granite foundation that I see?
Yeah, you got the granite facade. At least we don't, down below it might be a stone.
Granite foundation on the front was a real sign of opulence, especially for this period.
Yeah.
I also, let's see, what else? I mean, there's a lot to cram in here. There's also the windows. I mean, I don't want to jump to the windows, but I think...
Well, you got 9/6.
9/6 hung windows, which is the...
That's a reverse cottage.
Reverse cottage.
Right.
6/9 would have been expected, but they said, nay.
Yeah.
This is a 9/6.
So I don't know why they went to doing that, because you can't open them.
It's a little panache.
Yeah, so the house has been beautifully maintained over the years.
Okay.
And I like to use it to serve as an example because it's, in size, you look at a first period house, early house, and you look at this one, and you learn the differences and what was going on, what was being changed. And you go inside, and you've got a nice central stairway. So that's why your chimneys are
quality of living. Right.
Yeah.
You didn't need to have that heat source right in the middle. You started to expand. As the space got bigger, you brought the fireplaces over to where they needed to be. I also don't want to jump off the windows too soon, because for people out there that say that owning a historic house is not energy efficient, they did a wonderful job of maintaining the character of these windows. They have historic preservation windows here with, let's say, historic storm windows.
Wooden storm windows. Another thing I like is if you look at the casings and the sill, they're very deep. They're very
almost.
And today when you go to the hardware, a hardware store and you buy a window, you got the little 1-inch window sill.
Yeah.
This is the real thing.
They're measuring in metric systems now, I think. I don't know. It gets weird.
So we're not probably looking at the original windows, but they replaced it probably with exactly what was there.
So, I mean, attention to detail. This is a beautifully landscaped yard. They have a great field stone wall here, really in addition to the neighborhood. I mean, this is really a living strawberry bank here on High Street, where you have museum-quality homes everywhere you look. And thank you
people live in them
for taking us here.
Yeah.
I know you said Haskell-Lord basically owned this section of town. Well, anything else?
The Lord family, there's a Lord Square right up the street.
Okay.
And the family became so extensive that they, like in this case, they married one of the Haskells and became the Haskell-Lord House.
Nice.
So when someone says to me, I lived in the Lord House, I have to say, which one?
Yeah, it's like saying George Washington came to New England.
That's right.
We heard about that. Well, thank you guys for walking with us at home. And Gordon, thank you so much for being with us here. Lincoln's ready. Oh, I'm not sure. He seems very comfortable. Either way, join us next time for another edition of Walk With Me. We'll see you then.